Hey everybody, it's Aaron again, and welcome to my top 10 favorite Digimon, and the second video in the month of Digimon, in Digitober? I don't know. If you haven't watched or you don't know what Digimon are, feel free to check out the first video released earlier this week, which gives you kind of a history and a little bit of information about Digimon in general. Now, this is my top 10 Digimon list. This does not count as like the top 10 Digivolution families or some such. These are just my top 10 favorite straight up Digimon, although some of them may be within the same family. And as this is an opinion thing, you gotta bear that in mind. I may not have any good reasons for why I like the Digimon I like or hate. And it's all personal, but I figured I would share this as the second video. And so, let's get to it.
Number 10.
Batumon. Now, Batumon is the only rookie you will end up seeing in this list, and I know that's probably shocking, not shocking, I don't know. Batumon, the biggest reason why I guess I liked Batumon is because he was one of the first Digimon I ever encountered game-wise, and that was due to Digimon World and coming across Madoki Batumon very early on. And I liked the color green when I was younger. I still do, but and because of that I just kind of had a fondness for Batumon. The other reason would probably be that in the game Digimon World 2, Batumon, instead of digivolving into Seedramon, and the Seedramon family digivolved into Dark Tyrannomon, and I really liked using Dark Tyrannomon in that game, and so Batumon was always one of the first things I tried to recruit when I played Digimon World 2. And you'll probably see him in my Digimon World 2 playthrough. So, the other final note, I guess, for Batumon would be that I do like the Seedramon line, so that would probably be a reason as well. But moving on.
Number 9.
Frigimon. I don't know, this may be shocking, may not, I don't know. I like Frigimon. You'll see in this list that I tend to have a fondness for fire and ice, and no, it does not come from the Game of Thrones stuff. I just, of those two elements I am very fond of. And so I like the extremes. The other thing is I really did like, in the anime, in the Digimon anime, Frigimon shows up in the very first series, and I'm probably other times too, I don't know for sure, but I just really liked Frigimon's attitude in that, and so I have liked Frigimon ever since.
Number 8.
Maramon, the flaming Digimon himself. I basically like Maramon for the same reasons that I like Frigimon. He's pure flame, man, and I can't help but like him.
Number 7.
Skull Maramon. What a shock! Maramon's Digivolution, Skull Maramon is here. I do like Skull Maramon, and he's definitely one of my top 10, and it's for an entirely different reason than I like Maramon. And it's because of Ghost Rider, the Marvel superhero Ghost Rider. I'm a huge Ghost Rider fan, and I just can't help but like Maramon for many of the same reasons. You can, chains, fire, and skull in the name, so how can you beat that?
Number 6.
Metal Seedramon. As I mentioned earlier, I like the Seedramon family, and because of that, I know that he's not necessarily considered the most powerful final version of Seedramon, but I just always liked Metal Seedramon better. I think that Giga Seedramon looks a little weird. I don't care for the head on Giga Seedramon. And so I don't know, I think it looks cool, he's metallic, he's got blades on his head. Pretty hard to beat that.
Number 5.
Stingmon. It's hard to say. Stingmon, I guess I just really like because I think he looks cool. And he's a virus type Digimon, which is cool. And I do tend to have an affinity for insect Digimon, even though I don't use a lot of them, and Stingmon will be the only one you see in this top 10. But I liked him. I liked the character for Stingmon and the way he sounded and stuff in the anime as well, and so he has a fondness in my heart because of that.
Number 4.
Number 4 is probably not surprising to see on this list, and it is Omnimon. Why? Because who the hell doesn't like Omnimon? The first DNA Digivolved Digimon that a lot of us ever saw in the first movie.
Number 3.
Beelzemon! And, you know, I don't know, I have a thing, the biggest reason why I enjoy Beelzemon is entirely based on the anime in the Tamers series that he appeared in. I am a sucker for redemption stories, and that is very much what Beelzemon's story is. He starts out as a bad guy and then sacrifices himself in the end, even though he survives, but spoiler alert, I guess. If you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. But so you get to see Beelzemon in his normal form, and then Beelzemon Blast Mode. They call it Blast Mode now, but it was just kind of a side Digivolution thing, similar to probably Fighter Mode for Imperialmon or whatever. But he's got wings and a big ass gun. But as I said, sucker for redemption stories, and that's pretty much what he is.
Number 2.
Wargreymon. So if you haven't guessed it, I am an Agumon starter fan, and you will probably think of my number 1 as a cop-out, but I really like Wargreymon. I liked him in the show. I was ecstatic during the X Antibody movie, which you get to see Wargreymon X here as well. I was really ecstatic when he kind of was one of the main characters, and I don't know, seeing the ultimate level Digimon, or not the ultimate level, the mega level Digimon was just pretty damn cool. And, you know, I'll never forget seeing him the first time in the anime, because I had no idea about, you know, when I was watching that, I had no idea that Mega Digimon even existed. And so that was one of those moments in time for me that was just freaking badass.
And number 1.
Victory Greymon! The Digimon you've not seen in any anime to my knowledge. Victory Greymon was introduced with the Digimon Championship DS game, and as an alternate version of Wargreymon, basically, you obtained him by, I think it was winning something like 50 fights and having reverted the egg so many times, which we'll talk about that game in one of the coming weeks, and so you guys will have more details there. But he was basically just an alternate, you know, considered to be like a veteran version of Wargreymon, somebody that has seen a lot of combat. And the pure and simple reason I like Victory Greymon the most is because he has a sword, and I cannot help but like that. I am a huge sucker for swords. That is my weapon, generally. And so I could not help but like Victory Greymon. And look at his sword. I mean, it's badass. It's 3 swords in one. And I really do like the kind of the alternate style of his armor and stuff. While it still very much alludes back to Wargreymon, it's, you know, like a more advanced version, and I can't help but think that is cool. So there you have it, my top 10 Digimon. I do want to say that all the art that I showed you guys, I know there wasn't much to this, but all of the art is copyright to the original owners, because it's all of the official art from the anime and the games and stuff, and so I take no ownership over any of that. And the video you guys have been seeing in between here is from Digimon Masters Online, which we will also be talking about in a future week in an episode. And next week we start to tackle the part of this month I was most excited about, which is the PlayStation game series Digimon World. So that's 1, 2, and 3. That's, you know, keep in mind the games that I'm going to be going over this month are not the only games. There are plenty of others, and I'm not saying that the games I don't cover aren't awesome, but I am picking the ones that I have the most experience for and have enjoyed the most. And so it's primarily going to be Digimon World, for better or worse. So, but I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned next week for the beginning of the craziness. And as always, take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.